My fiancé texted, "At the clinic, getting an abortion. Your genes aren't good enough for my future." I replied, "Okay." Then I canceled our wedding venue and emptied our joint savings account. 48 hours later, her father's lawyer was threatening to sue me for emotional damages. I, 32 male, got the text at 11:47 a.m. on a Thursday while sitting in a budget meeting. My fiancé, 29, "At the clinic, room getting an abortion. Didn't tell you, BC, honestly, your genes aren't good enough for my future. Been thinking about this for weeks. I want tall, athletic kids. You're 5'9" and have your dad's hairline starting. The family I'm building deserves better genetic stock. Anyway, it's done. Don't be dramatic about it. Read it 3 times. We'd been together 4 years, engaged 8 months, wedding in 6 weeks, invitations already mailed." I'm sitting there with my CFO droning about Q3 projections while my fiancé just told me she aborted our kid because I'm not genetically superior enough. Didn't even know she was pregnant. Left the meeting. Told my boss I had food poisoning. Drove home in complete silence. No music, no thoughts. Just autopilot. Got home. Empty apartment. She was probably still at the clinic critiquing my chromosomes. Pulled up our wedding folder on my laptop. Time to work. 11:58 a.m. Called the venue. "Hi, need to cancel our wedding for next month." The coordinator gasped. "Oh no, what happened?" "Irreconcilable differences." "What's the cancellation policy?" We'd put down $12,000. Contract said cancellations under 45 days forfeit the entire deposit. We were at 42 days. "I'm so sorry, but the deposit is non-refundable at this point." "Totally understand. Please send the cancellation confirmation to my email only." 12 grand gone. Whatever. Small price. 12:15 p.m. Called our joint savings account. Opened it 2 years ago for wedding expenses. Deposited $42,000 from my annual bonus and commissions. She'd put in maybe $4,000 total from her marketing job. "I need to withdraw my deposits." "Sir, that requires both account holders. Can I withdraw the amounts I personally deposited with proof?" Drove to the bank with 2 years of statements. Showed the teller my deposits. Withdrew $42,000. Left her $4,000. Moved it to my personal account that she'd never had access to. 1:30 p.m. Called the jeweler. My mom's sapphire was being set into her engagement ring. Custom platinum band she designed. Cost me $6,800 for the setting work. "Any chance the sapphire isn't set yet?" "Actually, you're in luck. We're behind schedule. It's still in the queue. I need it back. Keep the deposit, just want the stone." Picked it up an hour later. Mom's sapphire safely back in my possession. 3 p.m. Canceled honeymoon to Greece. Lost $2,400 in cancellation fees but got some credit back. 3:45 p.m. Texted the photographer, DJ, florist. All canceled. Ate another $3,000 in deposits. By the time she walked in at 6 p.m., I'd dismantled our entire wedding. Cost me about $18,000 total. Worth every penny. She looked tired. Hey, you see my text?" "Yep." Long pause. She set her purse down. "You're not gonna say anything? Wedding's canceled." Her face went white. "What?" "Called the venue this afternoon. Canceled everything. Lost the deposits, but it's done." "You, what? You can't just cancel our wedding." "Sure I can. I paid for it. We can reschedule. I didn't mean we shouldn't get married. You aborted our baby because my genes aren't good enough and I'm losing my hair. Why would I marry someone who thinks that?" I was being honest. Genetic compatibility matters. We could have discussed it. "You said you'd been thinking about it for weeks. Past tense. Decision made. So I made mine." She started crying. "This is insane. You're overreacting." "Oh, also withdrew my money from the wedding account. Left yours in there though." "What?" "My $42,000 is now in my personal account. Your $4,000 is still in the joint account. Fair's fair. That money was for our future." "We don't have a future. You made that pretty clear around 11:47 this morning." Her crying turned to anger. "You can't do this. That's financial abuse. It's my money that I deposited. Check the statements." "I'm calling my dad." "Cool, I'll order pizza. Want any?" She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. Heard her on the phone immediately. Lots of crying and he's being crazy and I need help. Ordered pizza anyway. Put on a movie. Felt weirdly calm. Update 1. 48 hours later, Friday morning, 9 a.m. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this my name?" "Speaking." This is Attorney Reeves from Davidson and Partners. I represent the family of your fiancée. We're calling regarding several concerning actions you've taken. Okay, you canceled a wedding without consultation, withdrew substantial funds from a joint account, and we understand you're planning to evict our client. These actions constitute financial abuse and emotional damages. We're prepared to file suit unless we can reach an agreement. An agreement to do what? Restore the funds to the joint account, reinstate the wedding arrangements, and compensate our client for emotional distress. We're thinking $50,000 would be appropriate. I actually laughed. Your client told me my genes are inferior and aborted our baby because she wants genetically superior children. Then I canceled a wedding I paid for and took back money I deposited. That's not illegal. My client was experiencing a medical crisis and made statements under duress. Your retaliatory response was calculated and punitive. Medical crisis that she'd been thinking about for weeks? She said that, in writing. Also, she's not being evicted. I haven't filed anything. She's staying in my apartment that I pay for. Nevertheless, we'll be pursuing legal action. You'll be hearing from us. He hung up. She came out of the bedroom. Did my dad's lawyer call? Yep, wants me to give you $50,000 for emotional damages and restart the wedding. See? Even he thinks you're wrong. He's wrong. Also, you need to start looking for an apartment. I want you out by end of month. You're evicting me? I'm asking you to leave my apartment that you don't pay rent for. 2-week notice. Plenty of time. I've lived here 2 years. This is my home. Your name's not on the lease. You've been a guest. Now you need to find your own place. She called her mom right in front of me. Speakerphone. Mom, he's kicking me out. He canceled everything. He took all the money. You need to talk to him. Her mom's voice came through, shrill and angry. Put him on. My ex handed me the phone like a weapon. Hello. How dare you treat my daughter this way? After she's been through, she made a difficult medical decision and you're punishing her. She told me my genetics are inferior and she's been planning this abortion for weeks because she wants taller, more athletic kids. That's not a rash decision. That's eugenics. Then she's surprised I canceled a wedding I was funding? She was scared. She panicked. You're supposed to support her. Support her aborting our kid because I'm not genetically perfect enough? Hard pass. Hung up. Handed her the phone back. You're being so cruel, she sobbed. I'm being practical. You ended this relationship. I'm just handling the logistics. Sunday evening, her dad showed up. Big guy used to getting his way. Owns 3 car dealerships. Knocked on the door like he was the police. Opened it. Hey, we need to talk. Man to man. Okay. He pushed past me into the apartment. Real alpha energy. My daughter made a mistake. Said some things she didn't mean, but you don't get to financially terrorize her over it. I didn't terrorize anyone. I canceled my wedding and took my money back. That wedding was a commitment to both families. We invited people. My business associates are asking questions. You embarrassed us. Your daughter embarrassed herself when she sent that text. She's sorry. Women get emotional. You need to be the bigger person here. The bigger person? Your daughter told me I'm genetically inferior. Not I'm scared, not I'm not ready, but specifically that my genes aren't good enough for her future family. Then I'm supposed to just get over it? It's not about the words, it's exactly about the words. She meant everyone. And I'm not marrying someone who thinks that. He got in my face. You're making a big mistake. My daughter is a catch. Beautiful, educated, comes from a good family. You're a middle manager at a tech company. You think you'll find better? Already found better, being single. I think you should leave now, before this gets ugly. He stared at me for a long moment, then turned and walked out. Slammed the door hard enough to rattle the frame. My ex came out of the bedroom. You made him so mad. Not my problem. Monday morning I got an email from Attorney Reeves. Attached was a formal lawsuit. They were suing me for $46,000 for shared wedding contributions and planning costs, $25,000 for emotional distress and reputational damage, $15,000 for unjust enrichment from joint account withdrawal, $86,000 total for canceling my own wedding and taking my own money. Called a lawyer. My buddy from college put me in touch with his cousin who does family law. Cost me $500 for the consultation. She read through the lawsuit and actually laughed. This is trash. They're mad and hoping you'll settle out of fear. You withdrew money you deposited. That's not illegal. You canceled a wedding you paid for. That's not illegal. Emotional distress requires proof of intentional infliction, which they can't demonstrate. This gets dismissed. How much to fight it? Maybe $3,000 total. I'll file a motion to dismiss. Judge will toss it, but you'll need to pay me to respond. Do it. Tuesday afternoon, my ex was still in the apartment, hadn't started packing, was just existing, eating my food, using my Netflix, acting like nothing happened. Hey, you started looking at apartments? I can't afford anything on my salary. Not my problem anymore. Where am I supposed to go? Your parents have a house. Your sister has a place. Figure it out. You're really going to throw me out on the street? You're not on the street. You have family. You just don't want to be uncomfortable. That's when the real entitlement started showing. Update 2. 2 weeks later. She refused to leave. Day 14 came and went. She was still there, acting like we were just having a fight that would blow over. Had to file formal eviction paperwork. In my state, even without a lease, if someone's been living somewhere for over a year, you need to go through legal channels. Filed the 30-day notice. Cost me $250 in filing fees. You're seriously evicting me? You're putting it in the legal system? You refuse to leave voluntarily. This is the next step. You're vindictive. This is abuse. It's property law. You don't have a right to live in my apartment after we break up. She called her dad again. He called me. Left a voicemail. You're a dead man professionally. I know people. I know the CEO at your company. We're in the same club. One word from me and you're done. Drop the eviction and settle, or I bury you. Cute. Saved the voicemail. Sent it to my lawyer. That's harassment and a threat. You could file a restraining order if you want. Not yet. Let's see how their lawsuit goes first. The lawsuit motion to dismiss hearing was scheduled for 3 weeks out. Meanwhile, my ex started her social media campaign. Posted on Instagram. When the person you love weaponizes your vulnerability and punishes you for making a difficult medical decision, praying for healing and justice. All her friends flooded the comments. You deserve better. He's showing his true colors. What a narcissist. Some mutual friends texted me. Bro, what happened? She's saying you kicked her out after a miscarriage. It wasn't a miscarriage. She aborted our baby because she said my genetics aren't good enough. Then I canceled our wedding. Now she's mad. Oh, that's different than what she said. Yeah. Lost a few friends who decided I was too harsh. Whatever. Found out who was actually loyal. But then she made her biggest mistake. Remember how I said she was in marketing? She worked for a mid-size firm downtown. I'd met her boss a few times at company events. Nice woman. My ex decided to call my company's HR and file a complaint about me. Said I was unstable and making threats, and she was afraid for her safety. HR called me in. I brought my lawyer. We received an anonymous complaint that you've been engaging in threatening behavior toward a former romantic partner. My lawyer jumped in. My client has documentation showing he's been the victim of harassment and threats from his ex-fiancée's family. He's filed eviction paperwork through legal channels and has not made contact with her except as required by the situation. If there are specific allegations, we'd like to see them. The HR director looked uncomfortable. The complaint was vague, just expressed concern. Did the complaint come from a company email or personal contact? Personal contact of someone claiming to know him. So an anonymous, unsubstantiated claim from an unknown party. That's harassment against my client. He's being targeted by his ex-fiancée's family because he refused to settle a frivolous lawsuit. If this company takes action based on this complaint, we'll have legal grounds for wrongful termination. HR backed off immediately. We'll note that the complaint appears unfounded. Thank you for your time. Went back to work. But now, I was pissed. Called her boss directly. We'd met at a company holiday party. I'd been charming, she'd been friendly. I still had her card. Hi, this is my name. We met at the holiday party last year. I was there with X's name. Oh yes, how are you? Honestly, not great. We broke up recently and it's gotten messy. I just wanted to give you a heads up. She's been struggling. Filed a false complaint with my company's HR. Threatened me through her father. I'm worried she might be having some kind of crisis. Oh my, that doesn't sound like her. I know. It's been concerning. Just wanted you to be aware in case it affects her work. I'm not trying to cause problems, just thought you should know. I appreciate the heads up. I'll keep an eye on things. Couple days later, found out through a mutual friend that her boss had pulled her in for a welfare check. Asked if everything was okay, if she needed mental health resources. My ex apparently broke down crying and spent 2 hours explaining how I'd ruined her life. Her boss suggested she take some time off, unpaid leave to deal with personal matters. My ex lost her mind, posted on Facebook about how her boss was discriminating against her for medical choices and how her ex's lies were destroying her career. Her boss saw the post, fired her the next day for unprofessional social media conduct and bringing the company into disrepute. Now she was unemployed, living in my apartment with an eviction notice, and facing a lawsuit that was about to get dismissed. The meltdown was spectacular. Final update. The lawsuit got dismissed exactly like my lawyer predicted. Took one hearing. The judge read the complaint, looked at her attorney, and said, "Counselor, which part of this isn't just, I'm mad about a breakup?" Her attorney tried to argue emotional distress. The judge cut him off. The defendant canceled his own wedding and withdrew his own money. That's not illegal. Your client sent text messages that were, frankly, I'm shocked anyone thought this was worth filing. Motion to dismiss is granted. Defendant is awarded court costs. $4,200. Her dad had to pay me $14,200 for wasting the court's time. Outside the courthouse, her dad was furious. Red-faced, veins popping, walked right up to me. "You're gonna regret this." My lawyer stepped between us. "Sir, that's harassment. My client has grounds for a restraining order if you continue." He stormed off. My ex, who'd been sitting on a bench, came up to me. Looked rough. Hadn't seen her in a week because she'd been staying at her sister's while still technically renting my apartment during the eviction process. "Happy now?" "Didn't want any of this. You started it with that text." "I made a mistake. I was scared and said stupid things. Why can't you forgive me?" "Because you didn't say stupid things. You said calculated, cruel things that you've been thinking about for weeks. You told me I'm genetically inferior. That's not fear, that's contempt." "I didn't mean it." "Yeah, you did. And now you're dealing with the consequences. Should have thought about that before." She tried to slap me. Missed. My lawyer grabbed her arm. "That's assault. Leave now or we're calling the police." She left crying. The eviction became official a week later. Sheriff showed up to oversee her removal. She'd finally packed her stuff, barely, just threw things in garbage bags. Her sister came to help move. Her sister tried one last guilt trip. "You destroyed her life over one text message." That text message destroyed our relationship. Everything else is just fallout. After they left, I deep cleaned the apartment, threw out the bedding, got rid of a few pieces of furniture that felt too much like ours, repainted the bedroom, made it mine again. The restraining order hearing came 2 weeks later. She no-showed. Judge granted it automatically. 1 year no contact. Found out through mutual friends what happened to everyone. My ex moved back in with her parents. Unemployed for 3 months before finding a job at a smaller marketing firm for way less money. Last I heard, she's dating some guy she met at a bar, but it's complicated. Her social media is all wine memes and quotes about surviving narcissists. Zero self-awareness. Her dad threatened to sue me for defamation, then realized he'd have to prove I said something false. Gave up. Apparently complains about me at every family gathering. Her mom sends me Facebook friend requests from fake accounts every few months. I just block them. Lady is obsessed. Her lawyer actually apologized to my lawyer, said he tried to talk them out of the lawsuit, but her dad insisted. Apparently lost money on the case because they didn't pay him enough to cover his time. As for me, doing fine. Better than fine, actually. Went on a trip to Japan I'd always wanted to take. She'd vetoed it because Asia isn't romantic enough for a honeymoon. Turns out it's great when you're solo. Started dating someone new about 4 months after everything ended. She's a physical therapist, laughed her butt off when I told her the whole story. We're taking it slow. She's cool, got a promotion at work. Turns out not dealing with constant relationship drama freed up a lot of mental energy for my career. The $42,000 I took back from the wedding fund? Down payment on a condo, my place, my name. No one else. People ask if I feel bad, if I regret being harsh. Nope. She texted me that my genes weren't good enough, that I wasn't genetically worthy of creating a family with her after 4 years together while pregnant with our kid. Then tried to play victim when I responded by canceling a wedding and taking my money back. Then sued me for $86,000. Then tried to get me fired. The revenge was just me protecting myself and refusing to fund someone who fundamentally disrespected me. She wanted to build a genetically superior family? Cool. Do it on your own dime in your own apartment. Sometimes the trash texts you exactly what it is. You just gotta believe it and change your number.